You're watching Fox 4 News at 8 a.m.
From politics to the pandemic, tomorrow's dinner conversation could get a little heated. A conflict resolution expert joins us with tips for a drama-free Thanksgiving. This holiday season will be different from years past for all sorts of reasons. One, obviously, we are in a pandemic, and two, it's an election year, and those could spark a very interesting dinner conversation. So this morning, conflict resolution expert Damali Peterman joins us with tips for a no drama Thanksgiving, whether you are with your family or if you're joining them virtually. So Damali, this could be a pretty dicey one for a lot of people, and you say remember to breathe, quite literally.
Absolutely. Breathe is the acronym that we came up with at Breakthrough ADR to help people to just focus on having a drama-free holiday season. And the B in breathe is just remember to actually breathe. Take a breath so that you can resist that fight, flight, or freeze mode that your brain goes into when you're in conflict, and re-engage your executive function to make a cool, calm decision. And that leads us into the R in our breathe acronym. Just resist the bait. I mean, how many times are we triggered in a conversation, and we have to remember to regulate our emotions and remember how you want to be remembered in that moment, which makes a lot of sense to us when we're not in conflict. But when there's a conflict going on, we have to remember to resist the bait.
Sure. This engaging in a positive way. How do you do that? If someone just will not take your silence for an answer, right? How do you do that?
You have to find a way to find some common ground. It exists. Find it. Figure out what it is. Is there a safe topic? Perhaps you like sports. Perhaps you like winter. Pick a season and find that common ground and stay there as long as you can.
There's a reason talking about the weather is a safe space, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
the A in this acronym, I think this one's important.
This one is key. It's basically accepting a person's reality. It's impossible to change someone's mindset over a Thanksgiving dinner, for example. And so you have to say, okay, I'm going to be able to agree to disagree, and perhaps just say for this moment, for this meal, for this year, given everything that's happened, I'm going to accept their reality, and I'm going to find a way to show them that they're different opinions without saying, I disagree with you.
Yeah. Testing the waters? What do you mean by this?
Well, I think it's really important this year, especially with different philosophies with respect to the pandemic, with respect to the elections, et cetera. And so sometimes before switching a topic in a conversation, you may have to throw out a little bit of a bit to see, is it safe to go there? And how can you do that? Well, instead of making it about you and the person in the conversation, you can make it about someone outside of the conversation, or say, I've heard or I've read in the news or seen on my favorite show, Fox 4 with Abby, this. What do you think about it? And that's a good way to test the waters without personalizing the issue.
And hear the person. That's not always easy.
The H is not always easy. The H is to hear the person. Oftentimes people are listening, and typically listening to respond. Hearing is actually understanding what they're saying, and instead of preparing your response, instead first summarizing what they've said. So giving them a brief recap of what they're talking about, and two, asking a question instead of trying to provide a similar statement and say, oh, that happened to me when X. Avoid that. Listen, actually hear them, and try to unpack a little bit more what they're telling you.
And E, enjoy the time spent with these people in your life. That's not always the easy part for some people, especially if there's this much tension.
The E is so key this year, Abby, I think more than ever before, because for whatever reason, this holiday season could look a lot different. There could be an empty chair at the table. You could be celebrating virtually for the first time. And so it's really important that if you have an opportunity to spend time with someone else, whether it's on camera or via phone or in person, that you put that first, prioritize that company that you have, and really try to avoid any landmines and just enjoy your time. This is a tricky holiday season.
Yeah, certainly is. All right, Damali Peterman, thank you for joining us. And if you'd like more advice, you can learn more on Damali's website, breakthroughadr.com.